All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back for yet another edition of the Rock and Roll Geezers Show. Thank you very much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe and like some videos. And hopefully, you'll enjoy the content we provide you. And it's very cool. And joining me, of course, the guy who, he not only loves rock and roll, but he'll put multiple dimes in the jukebox, baby. And that would be my partner in crime, Doc Box. How you doing, Doc?
I am doing quite well, sir. Ready
Yeah.
to talk about another week's worth of rock and roll news and
Oh man. Yeah.
share it with the good folks. Yes, if thank you very much for subscribing. If you have not done so yet, please do so, and it would mean a great deal to us. So
Hmm.
yeah, we got lots to get into this week. Lots and lots, and as
It's just
always.
bizarre stuff, really bizarre stuff. Let's kick it right out of the gate. We've been talking about Motley Crue all summer long, all stinking summer long. If it isn't one thing, it's another. If it isn't
You know
Tommy
what?
Lee,
They we've mentioned them on every show. I think I would
well,
have to go back, but I would be willing to bet we've had a Motley Crue story every week, all summer, all fall, all since we started doing this.
it's come to a head. We were talking about him all summer long. How Tommy Lee and his unit
All right.
and just everything. Now they've replaced Mick Mars with John Five, and now the latest thing is, let me get this picture up here. You're gonna love this picture. Get it.
Oh yeah, I know that's your favorite. Yeah.
Well, apparently, industry sources, this just says industry source, so it might just be a bunch of BS. It might just
Okay.
be one guy, but industry source says Vince Neil is being replaced for the Motley Crue tour, the upcoming Motley Crue tours, future Motley Crue tours.
Yeah, we started to bring this up last week when it was just cries from the internet. So we just kind of,
Blew
brushed
it
it
off.
off as a
Yeah,
as a couple fans saying, "Hey, Vince sucks against somebody else." But it
yeah,
seems
yeah.
like the story's got a little more teeth than that. So yeah, it seems like they have somebody on a short list that people are one way or the other, I suppose. About you want to get into that?
Well, for crying out loud. Well, okay, I've got to confess. Okay, I was a guitarist for a Creed tribute band.
Oh, nothing to confess, sir. Be proud.
Oh, I was happy. It was so much fun playing that.
Oh man,
Before
that
I
was a great
started
band.
playing the Creed, I had no idea. I was an old school guy. I had no idea what drop D tuning was and open tuning and all that. And that was quite a lesson. It was most enjoyable, and we were really good. Uh, I'll put together a YouTube page eventually with some of the videos that we live videos we posted, but we sounded just like them. But because I'm saying Creed because one of the considerations for the Motley Crue lead singing position, and I can't believe this, and that would be Scott Stapp from Creed. And I think that's totally bonkers. That is off the chart. And I thought it was just a pile of BS, but apparently it's on a few different
Yeah,
websites.
yeah, we're hearing it from a few different places. So, and who knows? It probably originated from the same place, but you
Yeah,
know,
jeez,
I,
no,
I I I
I
don't know.
can't
It
go
just
there.
seems like they're just going nuts now. It's like Tommy and Nikki want to continue, and obviously, well, Mick couldn't, so John Five
Right?
stepped in, and now I don't know if they're just Vince, you're not up to the challenge, buddy. We gotta get somebody else in here.
Yeah, but
And
but
I
but
mean, they
Scott,
had John Corabi. They did an album with John Corabi when Vince left back in the 90s,
right,
and
right,
really wasn't too bad of an album. It was one of those kind of deals where if they had put that out under another name, it probably would have done quite well. But because they put
right,
out under the Motley Crue name, everybody, hey, that's not Motley Crue, then it kind of
right.
got panned. But
Well, online, there's a few people, bringing up his name. Get him back for crying out loud. They're saying,
yeah,
but either way, and it's funny because MTV Headbangers ball host Ricky Rackman, he says, if Scott Stapp ends up replacing Vince Neil in Motley Crue, I will shave my head bald. So the The challenge is on, man. The challenge
Right.
is on. Jesus.
Right.
So that's so crazy. That is just whack. Gosh, I
Yeah.
love this. I love this picture so much. You know, really, it'll be coming up any time with the Yukon, whatever his name was, uh, and the abominable snowman,
And
aka Vince Neil. So we'll
the
see
heat
what
miser or whatever. Yeah.
we'll see what happens there, man. That's jeez, that is just crazy. And as if things aren't bad enough.
Would you go
They,
see that? Would you go see that lineup?
I would
I
just to see what kind of train wreck it might be. You
yeah, I
know,
suppose. Yeah,
and
maybe.
well, no, I would go just to see John Five. Quite honestly, I'll be quite honest. I'd go see just to see John
But see,
Five.
we're going as kind of just in general music fans, I suppose. But
Right?
if I were like a Motley Crue fan, I'd be disappointed. I mean,
Oh yeah,
it's not
yeah.
Vince, it's not
At
it's
some
not
point,
Mick,
it's a
it's
novelty act, but I'd still
you
go
know,
see John Five. But okay, here we go. This is unbelievable. And we saw some of this. There he is, the Prince of Darkness. Let me get his hair. Let me see. Where am I? Right there. Hello, I'm the Prince of Darkness. There he is. There's Ozzy right there. Unbelievable. Uh, Ozfest in the metaverse. These morons. Jeez. I'm sure some people out there have probably seen it. All the reviews are, well, 95% of the reviews are just horrifying. It's the most ridiculous pile of garbage I've ever seen. Wow.
yeah, I haven't seen any reviews, but I looked at some of it. Some of it's on YouTube. I
Yeah.
couldn't find anything with the whole thing, but just little segments of it, which is quite honestly enough. But saw the Ozzy performance. If you want to call it, it's not even a performance. What do you even call it? I don't even know. Uh,
I don't know.
um, then
It's
you
like
see
a video
saw the
game.
Megadeth, and it is totally like Guitar Hero or something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
Motorhead.
exactly like
Motorhead was
Guitar
like
Hero.
Guitar Hero. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
the most ridiculous, just kill Ozfest already. If you're not going to go out and play an actual concert, don't do this BS. I mean, really. Wendy Dio must be just jumping for joy with this garbage because she started that thing with
The hologram thing. Yeah,
the hologram. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah.
it's just ridiculous. It's really turned out poorly. I hope they just scrap it from here on in because it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, really bad, really bad. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we'll post something on our Facebook page if you want to take a look at it. We'll find a good example to show the folks. But yeah, it is so much like a video game. That's the only way to put it. It was like Guitar Hero.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Not something I would be interested in. And I
poorly
hope this is
done.
not the way of the future. I hope that they're not going to start pushing this as a way and start charging tickets or some
No.
access. I don't know, but oh God, I hope not. God, I
No,
hope not.
no. There's so much Aussie news in the news too. Again, for some reason, all over the interweb this week, it was the fight between Bruce Dickinson and Sharon. That they're hashing that over again, and wow, that was a drag. I saw Iron Maiden at Ozfest one of the
Okay.
years, and they weren't throwing eggs at them that night. But
Well, it was until the final show of
the
the
final
tour.
show, yeah. But
Started,
apparently
yeah,
the whole tour, Bruce had been, just making
right.
quips and crap about Ozzy through the whole tour. And
Yeah,
apparently other bands would come up to Sharon and say, how long you gonna take this? So the
yeah,
last show, she apparently had enough. The last show of Ozfest, she'd had enough, and she got some eggs and some of her crew, and apparently the daughter was out there too with some of her friends, and they let him have it the last show. So, if it's true that Bruce was ragging on Ozzy, then at that point, just get off the tour. Just go. If
right,
you're
right, right.
unhappy, instead of ragging this guy who's doing this whole Ozfest, it's not the Iron Maiden fest, pal. That's a lot of money to put
Yeah,
together something like. So if you don't
yeah.
like it, get out. Jeez.
Yeah, from what I understand, it wasn't just putting down; it was putting down the whole festival, and all the sound sucked, and this sucked, and just complaining, and on stage, to the crowd the whole time about all this. So yeah, from what I understand, yeah, then like you said, there were other bands that were hey, is this going to keep going on? And so I guess at the time, that's when Sharon was recovering from cancer.
Oh,
And
jeez.
so she had her crew from the cancer hospital, I guess. She got them tickets and she got them in. And you know, you
Wow.
think about it. I mean, when you hear stuff like that, it's like, how did somebody get eggs into the concert? But obviously, if you're, setting up the show, you can do that. So she
Yeah.
stuck
Oh,
in the
yeah. Oh,
egg.
yeah. 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 It's her show. So, but there you go. So, that didn't turn out well, Ozfest. And, jeez, I heard
So that
some of
was,
his
man,
newer,
that was back. That was
I
like
heard,
15 years ago. That was a while back.
yeah.
But now
Yeah.
it's been re-brought up again.
I don't know why.
With an interview. Yeah, it was an interview with Consequence Sound, and they kind of asked Ozzy. I don't know. It's kind of a weird question to kind of compare himself with other metal vocalists like Halford and Dickinson and guys like
Jeez.
that. And he says, "Man, I'm not comparing myself to these guys. We do different thing. I do my thing. They do their thing.
Right.
We don't
Exactly.
compare
There's
ourselves."
no
And then
comparison.
yeah, and then Sharon spoke up. Yeah, all those other guys are great, but Bruce Dickinson's an asshole. Just started just to open up
Wow.
those wounds, I suppose, and she just started laying in about Bruce Dickinson again. And yeah, so Bruce
Ah,
Dickinson
boy.
responded back, or no, it wasn't so much of a response back, but it was a separate incident where somebody had asked him if Black Sabbath is still Black Sabbath without Bill Ward,
Ah. Mm.
and he made the point that Black Sabbath doesn't exist anymore. That Sharon pretty much saw to that. So that
Yes.
was his
Yes.
comment with that. So
And that's fine. You know, yeah, that's, yeah, I don't mind. Black Sabbath was good. They're gone. Boy, what a history. So there you go. I'm more than happy with them. But Sharon, she's just a piece of work. Man, oh man, oh man. Whatever. Another thing. I think we brought this up last week, didn't we? About Rick Nielsen.
hold
And
on before we get to that. I saw another Ozzy related story where I guess there's an Ozzy biopic coming out. Just kind of getting started, getting in the works. But I guess they're going to kind of focus on Sharon and his relationship.
oh,
It's
geez.
kind of reminds me of like I Walk the Line. Remember the Johnny Cash? Were
Oh
kind
yeah,
of focus
sure.
on him and June's relationship. So why do they got to make every
Ah.
movie to be a chick movie relationship thing? But I don't know. I'm sure it'll be big. And Sharon
Oh
says she
boy.
wants it to be ultra realistic, way more than Bohemian Rhapsody. And
Oh
so
jeez.
yeah,
Oh
we'll
boy.
see. We'll
Good
see.
riddance. Good riddance. Jeez.
Ozzy says he doesn't want any big star playing him. He doesn't want, I forget who we used an example. It wasn't Brad
Well,
Pitt,
I think
somebody like
Johnny
that. But
Depp was one of them, or something like that.
Johnny
Something
Depp, yeah,
weird.
yeah. He said he didn't want
Yeah.
Johnny Depp, yeah, to play him. So
Gosh. Whatever, Ozzy. We don't care. Okay, moving on from him. God. Cheap trick. Rick Nielsen. He's been recuperating. I don't know if he's back on the road yet, but they had to cancel a few shows. They were playing with last week. We talked about how
yeah.
Rick Nielsen had to take a little time off. I believe a minor procedure they called it or whatever. And Robin Zander's son, Robin Taylor Zander, stood in, but it must be a little more serious than they thought because it's lasting a little longer. So they just decided to go ahead and cancel the shows, which is probably the best. I mean, you gotta have Rick there. Jeez.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. They just posted that on their Facebook page, but I don't know if they even did any shows with Robert Taylor. So I don't know. We'll have to look more into that. But
I'm
I
not.
can't imagine. Okay, I can't imagine going to a cheap trick show without seeing Rick Nielsen. I mean,
Really,
just
the
I don't
guitars,
know,
the
just
amps, all
yeah,
even the
yeah.
whole persona.
He's the show, yeah.
Yeah,
So
good riddance.
yeah, hopefully, hopefully he gets on the mend and gets back soon. So
How
I'm
about it,
sure he's
man?
itching to do so. Those guys
Yeah,
live on the road.
yeah, they really do. Jeez. Oh, here we go. Look at this picture here. Yeah, don't get any better than that. Look at that. My
Oh, Miss
goodness,
Dolly.
Miss Dolly Parton. That's like the best picture ever. She's so sweet.
That's
She's a
that's back in the '70s, right there. I think probably.
doesn't matter, pal. Still
Oh
a
no, it doesn't.
sweetheart.
She looks
Does
just the
not
same.
matter. Dolly, yeah, yeah, she's putting out a upcoming rock LP. She's wanted to do it, and she's gonna do it.
She's
And
so
but
cool, man. She's a national treasure, man. She really is, man.
And so,
She
so tell me, hang on, tell me who one of the singers is gonna be playing with her. Hang on.
Steve Perry.
Steve Perry, the legendary singer from Journey. Wow, very cool. She's real. She can do no wrong, quite honestly, at this point. Really.
Well, I guess she's always kind of had on the back burner kind of thoughts of doing a rock album and never got around to it or whatever. And when she got nominated for the Hall of Fame, she kind of said that she got in, she would have to do a rock album.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she got in, and true to her word, she's going to do a rock album. So yeah, she is. She's got Steve Perry. They're going to do a cover of Open Arms, which I was kind of disappointed. It's going to be covers, it sounds like. I was hoping it was going to be originals, but
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm sure she's going to pick some great old rock standards, and I guess Steven Tyler could possibly be joining it too. So I'm sure
oh
she's going to list a
man.
lot of folks that who
Oh,
can say no to Dolly.
bingo. Well, there you go. No, nobody's going to say no to her. And Jeff Bezos didn't say no to her. He just awarded her with $100 million
Yeah,
charity
150
donation. That 150. Okay, but
maybe. Oh, you could be right. I'm not sure.
it was 100 million to her to spend on charities that she chooses. So she's all into the charity thing. So, and she promised she's going to spend it wisely, and she is. So good for her. My gosh, her books for children program is just amazing. Been going on forever, and she just she deserves that. So if anybody can spend that 100 million, why is it going to be Dolly?
Exactly. He's giving it to her. That's a huge sign of respect right there. That you look. I know you're going to make the best of this, and you're going to do the most good with it. And here you go. There's $100 million.
Yeah, $100 million.
Insane, man.
That's gonna
That's
she'll make it
insane.
go a long way too. They're not going to be any graft going on there. So good for her. Boy, oh
Yeah,
boy,
good for
yeah.
her.
I can't wait
Can't
to
wait
see
to
her
hear
rocking.
the album.
But
Uh,
you're right though. I'd
yeah,
like to hear some originals.
yeah,
Somebody. Jeez, put out some originals. Don't. The
yeah.
easy thing is
Well,
to
maybe
just
it'll be
do
a
some.
mix. Who knows? Who
I hope
knows?
so,
Maybe
because
it'll
the
be a
easy
mix.
thing would be to
Exactly.
just do some
Yeah.
covers, and that's
Yeah, I can
all
see her
fine and
doing
dandy.
some
But
Linda Ronstadt or something,
I'd
some heart or
I'd
something. But
love to
no,
hear some original stuff.
yeah.
That'd be some cranking
Or
ass hard
or
rocking,
even do some of her old hits, in
jazzed
a
up
rock.
into the new day.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
happy to help you,
You know,
Dolly. Come on,
so
come on. Oh, good for her. Dolly's the best. Obviously, she's something
yeah,
else.
she's
Okay, what do we got here? Oh yeah, there's Steve Perry right there. Yeah, yeah. Coming up next, Alana Morissette. Alanis
Alanis Morissette.
Morissette. There she is. Oh boy, here we go. Jeez.
You know what? She's
Uh,
just so freaking weird, man. She's just I don't know, man. When that album came out, Jagged Little Pill, great album,
Mhm.
man. Till this day,
Thank
great
you.
great pop rock album. But
Well, thank you so much, Doc.
she's just so freaking weird, man.
Oh, I have my issues, if you know what I mean, but I'm doing the best I can. But they called me to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They said, hey, chick who went down in the theater, we want you to sing. We want you to do a performance on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame program. And they wanted her to do what was it?
She
They
should
wanted
do
her to
You're So
do
Vain.
You're So Vain with Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah, baby. But I said, hey, biatches. I said, I got no time because there is no need for me to spend time in an environment that reduces women.
and I'm thinking, give me a break already. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How does it reduce women?
Right.
Rock and roll has always
Yeah.
been male dominated, and there are women. If you got the balls, you're going to make it in rock and roll. And we talked about like Joan Jett and so on. The Hart sisters. Give me a break. So she's just looking for an issue or something. What do you think?
Yeah. I think it's kind of virtue signaling culture, kind of.
Yeah.
Because she was at the rehearsal Friday. She was like, oh, or maybe who knows for what's the real reason, and she decided to try to make a stance out of it, But
Yeah.
to say, I guess there's always you can always say this group's been left out, that group's been left out. But in recent years, the Rock Hall has really turned it around as far as women. They've had two-time Hall of Famer women in the last couple of years. Stevie Nicks was first, and then they had Carole King and Tina Turner. They got Joan Jett in. They've had a lot of women in recent years.
Sister
They're trying
Rosetta
to
Tharpe.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're just trying to catch up on things, a little bit. But I think it's her just taking the opportunity. Who knows why she didn't really
Yeah.
show up?
It was in
She
honor of
she
Carly
agreed on it.
Simon.
Exactly. And if you want to go there, exactly. If you really want to, the show female empowerment and that kind of thing, she would have shown up. That's
Mhm.
exactly the kind of thing you want to show up for, speak up for, have your voice part of. But yeah, for whatever reason, she didn't show up and decided to make a statement like that, which I don't buy for a minute. But she's just so freaking weird. But she did play. Remember, she played God in Dogma. Remember the Kevin Smith?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Too freaked out for me, Alanis. Too bad. You missed the opportunity. Whatever. Good riddance. Good riddance. Where is it? Yeah. There you go, sweetheart. Too bad. Too bad. Oh, too sad. Oh, okay. There's this there's this former jam singer named Paul Weller. He's got a thing against the Cure frontman Robert Smith, and I can't. I'm not even going to use the language here. I don't know how to, calling him an effing fat c word. And let's just see you next Tuesday.
Yeah.
He made the remark during an interview for the Record Collector magazine, and wow, Weller, the writer, he responded to an observation of the Cure to really, I can't effing stand them. Effing fat C word with his lipstick and all them bullocks. He's my age as well, isn't he? Speaking of lipstick and whatnot, let me see. Where is it? There it is. Here we go. Ah, he looks like someone's grandmother. Right there. Look at that.
The same look.
That's either someone's grandmother or somebody's unmarried aunt. That is crazy. But
yes.
And then of course Weller added he's an effing.
But he did save the world from Barbara Streisand, remember?
In South Park. Thank you, Robert Smith.
Yeah.
Best ever. But he's an effing knob end, he said. I don't like him. There you go. There's someone I would work with. I'd effing slap him or something, he said. So wow. For some reason he doesn't like Robert Smith and the Cure. They had a response. Roger O'Donnell he just said oh, where is he said I've always thought, as Spike Milligan says, people who live in glass houses should pull the blinds down before removing their trousers, Mr. Weller, he asked. So they're going back and forth, and I'm sure we're gonna hear that was a guy from the Cure. Yeah, he responded to the insult, telling him, better put your blinds down before you take your pants off. So I don't know how this started, but I hope we hear more in the coming weeks on this. This could get real juicy.
Good advice.
Huh?
I suppose, yeah. Yeah, Paul Weller was in a band called The Jam, three-piece. They were pretty decent. They were English, but, they were big over there, not so much here. But knows back in '85, I guess they had some words in an interview, but yeah, he really doesn't like Robert Smith, man. So yeah, who can blame him?
Yeah, with the
great
makeup,
music, but yeah, he's probably a dick.
He's an effing fat C word. Jeez, wow, that's pretty right, pretty crazy. Yeah, effing C word.
Paul Welch,
wow.
so I can't dispute it.
Here's some sad news right here. The death
Oh,
of
yeah.
Nazareth's original singer Dan McCafferty. And you've heard him a million times, ladies and gentlemen, on all those great songs that Nazareth had back in the what? Probably mostly the 70s.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
73 Razmanaz. Oh geez. Hair of the dog. I've got hair of the dog. That's like that's so great.
Yeah, we got Hair of the Dog right here. Let's see,
oh yeah.
familiar with that album from back in
Great
the day.
song list
Very
on that.
popular in my neighborhood back in the day. I think we all had that. I think it's one of
Mm-hmm.
them albums I think I've had on just about every format. I remember I
Yeah.
had it on 8-track. I've had it on vinyl. I don't think I had it on cassette. I may have, and now of course on CD. Just one came out in 75, which God, I thought it was later than that because we were rocking it regular like in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and then in like 81 even. But great album, man. Hair of the Dog, and yeah, great. You know, he was the first guy to have that kind of voice, that kind of, you know, Brian Johnson and Axl Rose and, you know, other guys have kind of latched
yeah.
on to. But he
Great
was kind of the
raspy
first guy to
voice.
have that kind of yeah, great raspy voice. So
And he
yeah,
announces
too bad. 76.
well, he announced his retirement in 2013. He
Okay.
has chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, so it's messing up his ability to breathe. So
Right.
that right there is done. But another great legacy. Oh boy. Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, one of those great 70s bands a lot of people probably haven't thought about in a while, but yeah.
They were outstanding. So cool. But and yeah, you know, that's my soundtrack right there, man. It's my freaking soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
So what a shame, but it is what it is. Here's another oddity I thought we both thought was pretty interesting. Here it is right there. Boom, there it is. 17 string bass guitar with ZZ Top playing.
Yeah.
Holy cow, what's up with that? Well, it turns out they sort of bought it as obviously as a novelty to
Yeah.
you know, just you know, make fun of it. They saw it online and bought it. And you know, they got it's funny, it's functional, but what a pile, what a pain in the ass that would be. And now it turns out, you know, through all the you know, laughter and whatnot, everybody thought it was an Ibanez. It's a cheap Chinese knockoff.
Yeah.
And it's a knockoff of Jared Dines' 18-string Ormsby guitar. I follow Ormsby guitars on Facebook, and they make some real sweet guitars. So if they're making an 18-stringer, it's got to be something else. But my question is, why do you need an 18-string bass? What in the world? I have yet to listen
Well,
to some
it's
Jared
bass
Dines.
and guitar. Yeah, go. He's got YouTube videos out. There's one where Jared Dines, I should say, is playing it, and yeah, it's pretty cool actually. But yeah, Elwood Francis, the replacement bassist for ZZ Top, they just kind of saw it online, I think, or something, and kind of thought they'd, you know, get a kick out of it, and bought it. You know, just some, like you said, cheap Chinese knockoff, and they played for one song. I think they played "Got Me Under Pressure."
Right.
And,
Yes, you're
that
correct,
was it.
sir.
You know, so so it's probably just something, you know, fairly simple to play. That they, you know, he's using probably 2 strings out of that whole 17, but just for a laugh, bring out the big mega bass.
That's crazy. And you know, Jared let him know, hey, you know, it's a cheap knockoff. But you know, Elwood just took it all in stride, you know, because he, you know, it's all a novelty anyway. And yeah, basically what Elwood said is, you know, the joke's on me because I have to play that bootleg POS. So it's all good fun. And you know, if they don't bring it out again, the world will be better for it. You know, we don't need it. It serves no functional purpose.
No.
You know.
But be careful, because Tom Peterson may try to actually.
Oh my God, you are correct, sir. You are correct. Here's a lovely lady right here, Paramore. You know, we've been talking all summer how some singers have been breaking up fights and
Yeah.
throwing people the hell out. And, we quite a bit actually this summer. We talked about it quite a bit, how
Yeah.
folks are, the singers aren't taking crap and they see somebody being harassed in the audience. Bam. They've been stepping up their game. And Paramore singer, Haley Williams, she stopped a concert in Canada up there. Them crazy Canucks. They're all pissed off because they lost the right to bear arms. I'm just kidding. No politics, man. I'm just kidding. Oh no, but there was a fight in the crowd, and she stopped the whole damn thing, and made sure everybody was all right. And it was a couple of dudes, obviously. And geez, what did she say? Here, let me put it on the proper.
Are you good? Okay? She said, approaching the edge of the stage. We gotta fight. Oh, man. Come on. What do you guys think this is, ya hey there? The terror show? We're not a hardcore band, bro. We're gonna dance tonight. We're gonna have fun, or we're not gonna do it.
Well, good for her. You know, you don't need fighting in the audience. How, the last place you want to fight is at a concert because you're there to have fun, and unless you're
Not only that, but you're likely to get escorted out, and there goes your ticket money. So.
Yeah.
I can, things get heated at concerts, thinking, Paramore show, there's kind of pop punk kind of, it's not like she said, it's not like some hardcore or thrash show or something, but, I can see things get heated. You get up in a general admission situations and, people pushing and shoving and elbows flying and whatnot, but nonetheless, you got to understand that, and you can't take it to that level, man.
And then she went on.
Are you okay? Do you want to split up? Williams asked, flashing concert goers in Detroit. Got me up here acting like a teacher. Detention for everybody.
That's probably about the best thing you can say is, detention, stop it, and let's rock. Good riddance. Not lighten up, people. God
school's out. Get the kids off the street. Let's get the show on the road. All that good stuff. Yeah.
Although I must say, there was that one dumbass at I think it was at the Five Finger Death Punch that whatever they are concert where the dumbass in front of us kept trying to break the fence. That big drunk son of a bitch and his wife. Yeah. So there are times when you just want to come up and slap somebody, but. He was a big ass.
Oh, I've definitely been in situations, but like I said, you got to realize, where you're at and what's going on, and just,
Yeah, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Oh man, and this is interesting. Gosh, I hope he comes. Well, I hope he comes around eventually, but he ain't coming around here yet. But Peter Gabriel, legendary lead singer for Genesis, and then incredible. Solo stuff. Peter Gabriel, he's coming out and gonna do some shows in the first in 10 years. So that's pretty cool. He doesn't look like he's really much in shape anymore, but he doesn't have to be in shape. Not like
he's been kind of under incognito for a while. He's his last album came out in 2011, and he did his last show in 2014. So almost 10 years.
Wow.
So seems like he's been working on songs this whole time.
Yep, he says he's surrounded by a whole lot of new songs and excited to be taking them out on the road for a spin. And
a plethora of songs, and
it's gonna be good. It's Peter Gabriel. It's not, he'll more than likely have Tony Levin playing with him on bass. Tony Levin's his traveling bassist, unless he's playing with King Crimson or whoever the hell else Tony Levin plays with. But he'll obviously have a killer band, and man, oh man, good for him. He's gonna kick it off in Poland, Krakow, Poland. Dates in Verona, Milan, Paris, Berlin, Stockholm, Amsterdam. He's hitting all the good cities. Jeez, good for him. Hopefully he'll.
Right.
Hope,
in Europe and then UK and Ireland, and like you said, nothing announced over here yet. But Hopefully, he makes
yeah.
his way across the
If he
pond.
ha-
Yeah.
well, I'm sure they'll have a successful concert over there, and maybe come on. Yeah, we'll talk about the concert season later on. They got things coming up, but yeah,
So he's got an album out of all these songs. There'll be an album forthcoming, but they don't really say. I don't know if he's kind of taking a bunch of them announced, but nobody knows when it's coming out or what's going on with it. So,
well,
yeah, it could
good
be
for
interesting.
him. Good for him. Maybe he'll have Adrian Belew playing with him on guitar, which he's played with him before.
Adrian Belew, since you brought that up, that's interesting. Adrian Belew is currently playing with Jerry Hairston of the Talking Heads. And
really,
they're touring, doing Talking Head stuff. Two of them, yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
darned. How
I
cool
found
is
that
that?
interesting. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a fast fact. I can
Yeah.
sure
But you
appreciate
don't have
that.
David Byrne, you don't have Tina Weymouth and
Fast fact time.
the
Yeah,
husband on
thank you.
drums.
All right, sure
But
appreciate that.
yeah. If you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
wondering what Adrian Belew is up to, that's what he's doing.
That's cool. On a real quick note here, nothing big, but yeah, Paul McCartney's putting out a singles box with like 80 something of his songs from his glory days from like 81 on. So just that's going to be out there. And what a prolific songwriter. What
Oh,
great
he's yeah. Oh
great
yeah.
hooks. His songs have always had the best hooks. It's just
Yeah.
amazing, just so cool.
Oh yeah.
Man.
He's got that touch for sure, man.
Yeah. So
Still hears his influence in songs to this day and probably always will.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that, you see my t-shirt here. I got my Iggy Pop t-shirt
Oh,
from
right
when we
on.
saw them at the Riviera Theater in
Yes,
Chicago.
absolutely.
That
Yeah.
was hot and stuffy and that was just
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
in the news recently because Taylor Taylor Hawkins played on his new album Every Loser, and having lost Taylor Hawkins, he started expounding on you know he never really understood about the Foo Fighters. He never got into them until he saw them in 2015, and then boom, he got it. He figured it all out. So you want to talk about that, or you want me to go expound a little further into here?
Yeah, no, Iggy, man. Iggy's my guy, man. I've
Yeah.
seen him a number of times and got every album he ever made. And, yeah, I love me some Iggy, man. Of it, blah 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 blah. What's the name of the new album? Oh, you said Every Loser. Yeah, Every Loser is the name of it. The
Yep.
song Frenzy is the first song off of it. They've been pushing a little bit, and it sounds like Iggy's been sounding for the last 20 years or so.
Cool.
And kind of rocked up a little bit, but yeah, you got me.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I think our signal cut out a little bit there, but no, Iggy, man, goes back to 60, started the Stooges. He was the first punk, man. They didn't call it punk, and that wasn't what the scene was about or anything at that time, but he was it, man. He invented the stage dive. He was the first guy to do all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
And doesn't perform exclusively shirtless, but pretty much even to this day, well into his 70s. If you've
Yeah.
seen him recently, probably know pretty proud when he's up on stage, but I guess he had scoliosis.
Ooh.
And yeah, so he had a
Mm.
problem with that. But
Oh,
yeah,
I got cool beans, man. Cool beans on Iggy. But yeah, let me see. Yeah, he saw the band and he saw Foo Fighters and having seen Taylor up there, just the intensity and the pure joy he finally got it, and of course he ends up on his album. What better drummer to play on Iggy's? Jeez, so good for Iggy, man. I got a couple of real quick items here I want to bring to your attention before we bug out here because I know you're busy. You're on a tight schedule today. So,
No, go ahead.
but so did you hear about this Morrison abandoning his Los Angeles show?
Morrissey, yeah. Morrissey, yeah. Yeah.
Halfway
Yeah.
through because he was cold. What the hell kind
Yeah.
of crap is that? That's bullshit. Sorry, she, some people paid $300 for a seat, and he just says, "Well, it's just too damn cold." Well, that's unacceptable.
He's a douche. I've actually seen Morrissey.
You
He
have
played,
in one of
he
those
played
riot fests or something?
Yeah, yeah. He was at Riot Fest, and he played there twice. I saw him the first time. Second time, I didn't bother. Everyone saw somebody else. But with the one thing, whenever he was on stage, the concession stands could not sell meat because he's a
Get out of
staunch
here.
vegetarian.
Oh,
No
what a
meat
douche.
no meat to be sold during his performance. So obviously, guys are getting meat ahead of time and throwing it up on stage at him and shit. Yeah, he's such a douche, man. So for him, yeah, the go. This was in L.A., right?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
I mean, how cold
That's
can it get
perfect.
in L.A., man? I mean,
That's perfect. Yeah. Well, apparently it was like 50 degrees and he was up a little higher in the mountains or whatever. So it might have been cooler, but I'm sorry, pal. Don't be a douche. Get well, he is a douche
come
anyway. So
on, man.
I can't,
He's a
it doesn't
super
matter.
douche.
So what a douchebag. Another item here, remember James Gang got back together for a benefit show for the troops. They got together with some other people.
Yeah,
And
Bet's
it's all
yeah.
good and through. Well,
With the Ohio bands and shit, yeah.
now Joe Walsh says he wants to extend the James Gang reunion and
There you go.
start doing some more stuff. And he says he misses turning it up. To put it lightly, he misses cranking that guitar up and getting crazy. Here we go.
Right?
Let me see now.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Like that's probably why he was doing the project, just to let loose and do what he wanted to do. So yeah, it sounds like we
okay, well, here we go. Let me see here. He said asked about the rumor that Vets Aid, that's what the thing was, expected to be their final concert. Walsh told Billboard, Glenn Fry used to say never say never.
Right.
So I'm not. We played the concert for Taylor Hawkins and it worked really good. We got in front of an audience and we were able to do what we used to do. I haven't played loud on 11 in a long time. I played in a vocal group. So I have small amps. It's different to turn it up and go for it. And I didn't realize how much I missed it until we started cooking with the James Gang. I can't wait to play again. Boom. How about that?
Yep. Yeah, there we go.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, he wants to turn it up. I can't say that I blame him. Not at all. No. How cool is that? So
it's Joe Walsh, man. It's in him and it's got to come out. Man.
Yeah. He wants to crank it up. And if anybody, if you heard the James Gang Live album, you'd probably understand why he wants to crank it up. And so there you go. Oh. you're gonna love this, Doc. They we're waiting, with bated breath for the schedule for next summer's concert tour, because we're gonna be doing our summer concert series again next year. So we're waiting and waiting. We can't wait. And I think we got Matchbox 20. We got Matchbox 20 already.
Yeah, they announced that. Yeah, they announced that.
Right. And we got Shania Twain, which is maybe from but our favorite cover band, Foreigner.
Oh no.
Foreigner is doing their farewell tour next year, and they're making a headline stop.
That's what I was just gonna ask. Are they headlining?
Headline stop, and guess who's opening for them? Loverboy. Let me tell you, folks, Loverboy was our first concert of the year. It was Loverboy, Ario Speedwagon, and Styx, but due to logistics problems in the theater, we had trouble getting into the parking lot. Then we had trouble getting through the gate. So by the time we got there, we only heard half of Loverboy's final song when we got up there. But yeah, it's got to be Loverboy opening up for our favorite cover band. So there you go, man. They're calling it a day. They've had enough. They just can't take any more. So they're done. So are we gonna go see them? I probably will. What the hell? Just so I can I can.
So why are they calling it quit? They can't get somebody else to come and take their place. I mean, it's just going to be a revolving door. I mean,
I'm gonna go
I'm
there.
glad they are, though. I'm totally glad they are. But
gonna use my Princess Bride. Boo! Boo! Boo!
Well, I wonder if being the final,
he better show up. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm where Mick Jones is actually.
Mick Jones, well, for crying out loud, because I saw that they were on a news program this morning, and the singer was, yeah, we've done all we could, yeah, blah blah blah, and these none of them have been there earlier than 2000, so they were nowhere near the glory years when all the hits came out, nowhere near. So
we're even born.
So we've got a cover band opening up or headlining at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater in Tinley Park, Illinois. So that'll be interesting. But so far, that's the only 3 bands they've got listed. But I'm anxious to see what they come up with.
I feel comfortable missing that one. I think if they were maybe opening for someone that that we wanted to see,
well, yeah, exactly.
I'd be forced to see them again. But they're headlining with Loverboy. It's like, nah.
I don't know. I may have to do it just to give a report to the RnRGzrs show because wow, Foreigner. I can't believe they're
I could pretty much call how that one's gonna go, I think.
Oh, it'll be great. Everybody will love all the songs will sound exactly like they did on the record, and everybody's gonna be so happy, and they don't even know that there's not even an original member in the band, and it's a cover band, and why not just go down the town to a good club and enjoy.
I'd be interesting to see the crowd that they draw. I would be interested to see that. So
well, yeah, they'll probably do good just because of the final, here's the final tour.
I don't know. People care, man.
Yeah,
Foreigner's one of those bands like everybody kind of likes, but they're like nobody's favorite band. You don't ever, see like Foreigner t-shirts or anything. You don't see like, but everybody kind of like they're middle of the road, so everybody kind of likes them. But
yeah, one of them bands was
it's not like a Motley Crue calling a final tour or something. It's like that's Foreigner. It's like Hall & Oates, whatever.
Yeah. And another one of them bands with one or no members. Angus Young is the only original member left to AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Ian, only original member left of Anthrax. Tom Schultz, only original member left of Boston. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. Nile Rodgers with Chic. Whoever heard of that? Blah, blah.
Yeah, but a lot of those cases they were the band, though. Kind of. I mean,
And here it is. Here's Foreigner right here on the list. Yeah, guitarist Mick Jones, the last remaining founder of Foreigner. He assembled the act in New York in 1976. So right in the meat of the 70s. With ex-King Crimson member Ian McDonald, who died, blah, blah, Lou Graham. Right. And these days, all active Foreigner members, besides Jones, joined in 2000 or later. That's really, so yeah. And just the fact that he didn't show up, geez. And then, of course, Gary Rossington with Leonard Skinner, the only original member.
Right.
And he's still keeping that going. I don't get it. So. Yeah, and a bunch of other bands I'm not familiar with. David Nelson, New Riders of the Purple Sage. Richie Blackmore, Rainbow. I don't even know if they're even still going. Rudolph Schenker, Scorpions. Wow. So, it's happening, but it's just cover bands at this point, with just one member left. Although, like Anthrax, I'm sure they just blow the doors off the place. So, bring them to Hollywood Casino, doggone it. We, Shania Twain and Foreigner ain't gonna cut it, man. We need a better lineup than that.
Yeah, a little bit.
We're very excited to see what comes our way in terms of concerts.
Well, it's good to hear they're starting to announce them anyway. So
yeah. I was figured it'd take them till next year, but hey, are bringing them suckers in. I'd like to see Meshuggah opening up for some other, heavy metal band. Who else would I like to see? Shinedown. I'd like to see them just to see them because they're all over the radio and stuff.
Really? I saw them years ago. They opened for a Van Halen or something.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
boy, boy, oh
Yeah.
boy. So there's some bands I'd like to see. Hopefully Tears and Fears comes back. Tears for Fears comes back. Love to see them. I heard Rod Stewart got offered, millions to do a show in Qatar and he turned it down. So maybe he's just winding it down. He's had enough of the rat race.
Yeah, for the World Cup or something. Yeah.
Probably for something like that, yeah, because
Yeah.
the World Cup's coming
It's
up,
probably-
and I don't care. I'm not a soccer guy. Sorry, just can't get into it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see when the hoodlums, or what do they call them over in England? The
Hooligans.
hooligans.
Yeah,
when
the
they start
hooligans.
when they start going after each other, that's a good time. But other than that, no, I'll pass. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Can't wait till see the lineup coming up. It's starting to get cold around here. We're actually supposed to get snow tonight, so a couple inches maybe possible. So
Oh,
I
jeez.
mowed my lawn today. Yeah, I mowed my lawn today one last time. Well, I got these neighbors that their lawns are immaculate. And here I am, little old me, old tired old geezer. I'm trying to keep up with them, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because their lawn, they use
Yeah.
lawn services, and it's terrible. My
Right.
lawn, but it is what it is. It's going to be a great holiday season. I can't wait for it. And and like I say, it's like waiting on the schedule to come. Is it it's going to be Christmas every time a new act comes out because I plan on hitting another full schedule next year. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, another
So-
12, 13 shows. Absolutely.
Yeah. And of course we want folks to join us, but we'll make the push when the schedule when the ticket deal comes out, the season pet ticket deal comes out, we'll start pushing it hard. Get some friends to party with
Yeah, that was
us. 'cause,
last year. It was first couple weeks in March, if I remember right.
Was it? Yeah. Okay. Okay. But yeah, and it doesn't last forever. So we got it. We'll
Yeah.
get it in there and bam. But can't wait, man. Here the holidays are here. Turkey lurkey coming up in a couple of weeks. So it's gonna be a good time. And thanks everybody for joining us. Sure do appreciate it. And as always, if you can, grab a seat and check out some of our videos on YouTube channel, RnRGzrs page. Yeah, like a video or two, make a comment, say hey, hey ho, how's it going and everything. So until next time, man, we'll see you next week. What do you got to say about that, Doc?
Yeah. Another week. We'll see what comes up next week that we can share with everybody. Until then, have a great rock and roll filled week, everybody.